All right, y'all. Welcome to Hollywood Deli. I'm your host, Blue. I'm a little sick, but I didn't care. I want to talk about episode season 20. No, sorry, not season 20. Season 19, episode 21. Let's talk about Robin. That's all I want to talk about. Robin, 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 because that's all fucking Cody talked about the whole time. So, Christine is such a petty bitch. Christine and David are helping Janelle, move to South Carolina. No, it's not South Carolina. It's North Carolina. And they go and see the land that Janelle bought and whatnot. And then they get on the conversation of camping and relationships. And they talked about how they went camping as a family and how Janelle and Christine, because y'all had the bulk of the kids, weren't worried about being all cute and whatnot, and they would be doing up all the cleaning and sweating and busting their butts, to handle things. Meanwhile, Robin would get out of doing any work by sitting in her camper, preparing to look good for Cody, putting on all this damn makeup, taking forever. And Robin lying, talking about, well, when we went camping, I was pregnant and I was throwing up a lot, and I was just trying to get myself together. No, bitch, you was using any excuse not to do any work as per usual. And then Christine said that Cody was always obsessed with how people looked and make sure everybody looked good. And so when Robin would spend hours getting herself together, putting on makeup, and getting her kids together while everybody else is doing all the heavy lifting. And when they would come, when they'd be all put together, Cody would sit there and compliment Robin on how good she looked and how good their kids looked. And she just felt like he was always turning his nose up and, you know, putting Robin on this pedestal and comparing them to her. And right there, it just tells me that he was creating a competition within the family, which created the toxicity and the jealousy that Robin so much wants to highlight as that none of them did a good job of addressing and dealing with the jealousy. Because she wasn't jealous of anybody per her. I believe she was jealous of Christine, very much so. She didn't like Christine having the position in the family as the pretty much the most liked and cared about mom. And the kids pretty much listened to her because she raised them. The OG 13, they didn't want anything to do with Robin. Robin came in like a bat out of hell, making demands and just automatically wanting respect that she didn't earn or even try to earn. She just came in and said, "Look, you're going to respect me, not me going. I'm not going to try to build a relationship with you guys." And so she tries to shape the narrative, steer the narrative, Robin, that the demise of the family was because of the jealousy and not because she was hogging up all of Cody's time and resources. And that was another thing. So they talked about how, they, you know, when they moved into the houses, they were just, dealing with scraps and trying to make ends meet while Robin had the best of everything, best furniture, everything. And while they were sitting there pinching pennies trying to make it work. And it was because Cody was spending all the goddamn money on this bitch and her doll addiction. So anyway, so then they keep talking about Robin, because Robin loves to be the center of attention, but when it when it suits her, but when it's negativity, she don't want to hear of it. So then Mary talks about how people were saying that Robin was a manipulator and a liar, which is the truth. And she said, they had this relationship, and then Robin would ghost her for months and months and months, and make up excuses for why, Mary couldn't come see the kids and the kids couldn't come see her, and try to use COVID when Mary was clearly following their rules. And of course, Robin was trying to say, well, she was doing some traveling and so we couldn't get our schedules to really align. It's like, Robin, you're full of shit. Because if it was a COVID thing, Mary had this big ass playground in the backyard that her kids could have went to, and they could have did social distancing. They could have seen Mary. But she didn't want that. She pretended to want a relationship with Mary. And it became more and more obvious through COVID. And Mary still is hanging her hat on. I don't think it was intentional manipulation, Mary, you fool. When a manipulator is manipulating, it's intentional. She intentionally did what she wanted to do. She befriended you, made you think that she was wanting to be your friend, when all along she just wanted to collect information from all of you and figure out what Cody liked. This is my opinion. Figure out what Cody liked and what he didn't like, and she morphed into the character that he wanted her to be. So she always had her makeup done, always was keeping up on her looks, which is fine. You should do that, in my opinion, for your man. But she did that, and she did more. She would tattletale on the other wives, take the information that they told her in confidence, and vilify them with it. But she glazes over that and doesn't talk about. And what pisses me off is production doesn't hold her accountable. And we found out, I'm getting off a little topic, but we found out why production didn't hold Cody accountable, because Cody controlled production. He controlled production so much so when they did those reunions, Tamron, um, the I think it's her last name, Tamron Hall. She has a show. Mary went on there and told us that it was Cody that had her fired. And of course, Mary's fake ass talking about, I never had a problem with you. Well, you followed along with him in suit and was in cahoots with him about it because you cut Tamron off. It sounded like her and Mary had like a personal relationship where they had each other's numbers. And she said I was like pretty much booted from the island. I was treated like the black sheep of the family. And now Mary wants to come on the show and say, "Oh well, I didn't have a problem with you." And Tamron, you were fired because Robin and Cody don't like to be held accountable. Throwing them underneath the bus now because all that butt kissing didn't work that she did to stay in the family. So anyway, Mary, is grappling and grieving that loss. And Robin, after she got everything she wanted out of Mary, her man, her money, her land, says, Mary, do you want to hang? I'm coming up there, let's hang out. And Mary said, I don't know how to hang out with my ex-husband's wife. I don't. And Robin acted so shocked to hear that. After you done took everything from this lady and you had the nerve to want to try to hang out after you done saw her off to Parawan. And then now we find out Mary had no idea that Robin was going to show up when Cody was helping her move. And the only reason why that Robin showed up is because Cody was there. She probably wanted to keep tabs and make sure that she kept them separate and that they didn't have a heart to heart and that she could monitor and supervise his relationship with her. And that's what Robin pretty much did with the other wives. She supervised their relationship. She always tried to position herself in between the wives and the wives' kids. She wanted to make sure that she steered the narrative in regards to that family. And it was really sad. But like what was more sad was Cody and Robin now trying to uh steer the narrative and tell us they're soulmates. I don't think they're soulmates. I believe they're two manipulative people that work really hard on manipulating each other to get what they want out of each other. And that to me is not a soulmate relationship. That's a transactional relationship. They both understand that they're both two very shallow people. Robin's all about money. He knows that. And Cody is all about physical and sexual, and she knows that she all she has to do is suck him and do all the thing, the dirty things he wants her to do in the bedroom that she was mad that the other sister wives wouldn't do for her, so that she didn't have to do it. Which why she went off on a tangent talking about they denied him affection wise. I've been having to do all the dick sucking, and I don't like doing it all. Anyway, but overall, it was a good episode. Well, you know what? I did like the Maddie dig. She finally said what we all been saying about Cody. Because, the land thing, Christine admitted she never wanted to build on Coyote Pass. She never wanted that country lifestyle. She's a city girl. She likes everything ready made now. She ain't got time to be building up nothing. And Maddie said he's not a doer. He's just a big talk. All he does is talk a lot, but doesn't do anything. And that's essentially what it is. And so they're still fighting over a Coyote Pass and how to divide it. And so we'll eventually see how that plays out. But I like Jen, who's Mary's friend, how she said, the only one that you have a real relationship with is Janelle. Janelle, to me, is now wanting a relationship with her. Because it's like Robin said in the episode, even though I don't believe that she was there for Meri when people were ignoring and plotting against Meri, I don't think anybody was plotting against Meri. Well, I'll take that back. They were. Because in regards to Coyote Pass, the other sister wives, including Robin, did not want to give Meri equal share into the land because she didn't have as many kids as them. And so they thought that justified her only getting 2 acres of land, which is bullshit. Y'all want her money, you want her to contribute equally, but you don't want to give her equally. And that's not cool. And so I do think there was a degree of plotting, but you too, Robin, plotted against her. And you too ignored her. And she's right. Christine and Janelle did ignore Meri. They didn't give a shit about Meri. I think Janelle and Meri don't have a relationship. I think they have an understanding of that they have a common enemies, and that is Robin and Cody. And I think the smartest thing Meri did was put some boundaries with Robin because she lacks boundaries and told her flat out, I don't think we should hang out right now. And Meri was honest and said that we need to have a real conversation. And I don't think Robin's going to like the things that I have to say. And she feels like if she really wanted things to work out for her, Meri, like she says, then she, in my opinion, well, not she, in my opinion, Meri thinks that she wouldn't have been kicked out of the family essentially by Cody. If Robin told Cody to make it work with Meri, things would have went differently. And that's true. If Robin told Cody, you got to make it work with Meri or it ain't going to work with me and you, he would have did it. Because like he said, he's a fool for his woman. And he would have done it. But Robin didn't want that. Robin was happy to see Meri go. That's why she came with, as Jen said, her wonderful gift that she forcefully made Meri open as if it was something nice she gave her. A fucking journal after all that money you stole and took from that lady. Took her life essentially. Meri, you say you're grieving the loss of that relationship? No, honey. You should be grieving the fool that you played. You should be grieving the decisions that you made for that lady. And now we know. I'm going back and forth between the episode and the Tamron show because it's a lot of juicy stuff that came out of that Tamron show episode. Now we know Meri didn't want to get divorced. She was forced to get divorced. And she thought that if she divorced Cody that he would treat her better and that she would gain favor if she divorced him. But she did not want to divorce Cody. at all. And so now we know Robin planted that seed. And I think Mary is grieving the loss of her relationship with Cody, but also she said that there was some anger there. I think the anger is that she was fooled by Robin, and now she knows. And now that she got some distance between them, she sees how badly this lady fucked her over. But anyway, tell me what you think. Do you think Robin's right? That it was jealousy that broke up the family and not her actions? Let me know. Y'all have a good night. Make sure you like, subscribe. Thanks.